Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Papa here again today to talk to you about Welcome to Plathville.
Hello, y'all.
Season 4, Episode 5.
Hi, y'all.
We are here and we are excited about it. There's like all kinds of stuff coming up and Papa's almost caught up.
Yep.
So hopefully in the next few days he will be completely caught up and you will be caught up and everything will be awesome and we can talk about the new things that are coming out. I'm so excited about the new episodes when they come out. So again, before we start getting into it, thank you again to everyone who listens.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for subscribing because it's free.
Free.
And you know we sure appreciate you for being here. You know, because everyone is welcome at Big Mama's house. Pull up a chair around the kitchen table, which is where we're sitting right now.
Right.
Pour yourself a drink and let's chat. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Season 4, Episode 5, Welcome to Plathville, starts out with Ethan telling Olivia that he has a surprise for her. They're in the shop from where they left off last episode. And so he takes her out of the shop and shows her his car.
He is sneaky, not kind of sneaky, he is sneaky. And it kind of reminds me of like a scene in a horror movie where the killer is luring the victim to her death.
That was one of the comments that she looked scared and acted like legit scared that he was going to take her out in the...
Well, he was kind of weird too. He's like, come on.
What's he going to do?
Come on, Olivia. You know, it's over here. And all of a sudden...
But you know how she has that like deep hatred of surprises.
Yeah.
And it's because she has no control.
Yep.
And that's the whole thing. And she can't even be surprised. But of course, this was not a good surprise. And she asks, all she says is, when did you get it?
I don't see anything wrong with it. Except for the fact that he should have told her sooner.
And he tells her, it was during their separation. Yeah. And she said, you never thought to tell me? And he's like, well, yeah. And
I mean, it's not big enough where it prompted her to do what she did.
And then she says nothing.
Yeah.
Right? She just stands there. And then she says, can I go back to washing parts now? And I'm just like, poor Cinderella. You know.
Cinderella.
You know, so put upon. So everybody's so mean to her. And okay, as a wife, you know how I feel about lies of omission, keeping secrets, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a no-go for me. You and I would have a serious fight about it.
I know. You didn't like it when I revealed my family back in Pennsylvania.
Oh, my goodness. That's all. Y'all will have to watch Mama's bio about whenever I meet Papa to get that story.
Yes.
And Ethan says he doesn't get where she's coming from. And sometimes he doesn't get her and she doesn't get him.
I think he's over her.
Well, it's just like, I think... he's getting sick of her bitching about everything, constantly having drama and tears.
Yes. Always
everything is we need to fix this, and you're doing this wrong, and nitpick. She exhausts me, and I'm not married to her.
You know, it's exhausting talking about her every episode.
And then Ethan says, if coming up here to work on my cars or whatever is a setback in our marriage, then our marriage isn't much of a marriage. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you for opening your eyes. Ooh, yeah. Yes, Papa?
But the fact that he's got to go... I mean, if one thing was still there in Tampa, okay?
Yeah.
Where it was with, you know, at their house or town, whatever.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
One thing.
Local.
But he's got to drive 4 to 5 hours, you know, from Tampa to Cairo.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just, so that's a lot, you know, for cars. Because, I mean, she can't go with him all the time.
No, but she also travels a lot for her business. And so she's gone for a couple weeks at a time, too.
But she's getting...
So if she's...
Does he get paid to work on his cars?
Well, if he fixes them up and sells them, yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if he sells his cars,
Yeah.
but if he's not selling them, and obviously he hasn't sold any of them yet because they're still piling up.
But okay, if he pays for them with his own money, which he says that he did it from selling lawnmowers and
Which is
tools
weird.
and things. Hey, but he's got his own little money stash. Like,
Probably from the
their
show.
their roles are kind of reversed right now because she's kind of like the man figure, earning the money, going out and doing this, and he's like the little wife at home, has got her little like pocket money that from doing her little Etsy whatever. You know what I mean? It's like something like that. It doesn't seem like they're an equal in the relationship.
She's Barry, and he's Kim.
Kinda, yeah.
And you know who knows?
And said many times that Kim and Olivia are the exact same person with their need to control.
No, Barry and Olivia. I'm thinking right now, Barry is more like Olivia than Kim is.
But they blame it on Kim because Kim was the one at home every day being the authoritarian while Barry was gone, and then he just got to come home and play with the kids and be Mr. Fun Dad.
Yes.
We've had discussions about that before too.
Many times, yeah.
And then we go back to Micah. He's always a happy dude. He's hanging out with Micah, and Hayden's girlfriend.
What is there not to be happy about for Micah though? You're a good-looking young man.
Yeah, get all the tang you want.
You have a reality TV show
get money.
Yeah. Right? You know, and basically
you don't even got to pay rent.
Endorsing you.
Yeah.
You know, with your modeling and everything, and paying for you to stay in LA, basically. You know, just as long as they can follow you. I mean, what is there not to be happy about when it comes to Micah?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a happy dude. I envy that.
Yep. He has the world in his hands.
But he's hanging out with Hayden and Hayden's girlfriend, who's from Brazil, and her friend, who's from Spain.
Yep.
And they're going to act. Those three go to acting school together, and Michael is trying to save up to go to acting school. And I'm sure
eventually he will. Yes.
I think he did. Because I know during COVID he's doing like acting classes, like online and stuff. But he really wants to go to acting school. And her name is Antia, and they dig each other, her and Micah. And Micah's talking about how he turns 21 in a few days, and he's going to Florida to celebrate with the Sibs. And then the girls ask how many siblings he's got, and he says 8. And of course, they're all laughing and joking. And they were like, "Is your mom okay?"
You know, the lady from Spain.
Yeah.
Right. Antia. Her mouth was dropped.
Yeah, she was like, 8 kids. Oh my goodness. And Michael was like, "Yep, no C-sections or anything, but he was born on the dining room table."
And that's another like, wow.
And 3 were born in a car. Yeah, and they like the friends called his mom a superhero.
Well, Barry's too, because he delivered him in the car.
Well, he didn't deliver anything. He was just there. She delivered it on her own.
I mean, she did all the work. Yes.
No, but he didn't even catch the baby or nothing. She did it. But Micah said he remembers about half of his siblings being born. I mean, and I know a lot of people who have home births with older kids. It's kind of hard not to hear things in any house, but it makes me wonder if they allowed them, being like the free range children they were, to actually witness the birth.
They're probably like, go outside and play.
Or they're like, "Oh, this is a good biology lesson. Come in, children."
Yeah, sit right here at the kitchen table. We'll show you some things.
And then he said he uses his family as an icebreaker, like talking about, the things he didn't know, or whatever. So even saying he's got 8 siblings, that's different for a lot of people in LA. So because they come from much smaller families there. And he says that Ethan is doing better now that he's in Tampa, but before he was happy with his little social club. And he loved it there. What little social club? I'm curious now.
I'm wondering what happened to Helena.
What do you mean?
She has been on.
Well, Helena, I think, lives in Florida.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been living in LA, and I'm sure they're still friends.
Yeah, they probably talk and everything.
Yeah, but they can't, like, hang out all the time. But did you catch that? He said he had his little social club.
Maybe it's those guys. Maybe he's talking about those guy friends that he hangs out with.
Maybe, but That was just a
like
weird way to put it.
like shish kebab. What is the guy? What's his name? Capiche. Like Capiche. You know, he hung out with those guys a lot. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
No, he says Ethan is doing better being in Tampa now because at first he wasn't happy. He says, but whenever he was in Cairo, he had his little social club.
Probably just his little couple of his friends that he worked with that he went out to drinking
This
with.
is a weird way to say it.
Well,
You know,
they were brought up weird, babe.
True. True.
You know, so
And then
sorry,
he
Mom.
points out that he was the only sibling to actually move out and away on his own. You know, and that how brave you have to be to do that. You know, because all the rest of them lived with someone with another sibling. You know, not on their own.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the only one that's by himself. Yes.
And you being the only one in your family to move away by yourself, basically.
Well, I had friends. I moved with my friend.
True, but I mean, you weren't with family
No, but he was like family.
because
But
Mike is with friends.
yeah, yeah.
But
but Speedy, all right, was like family. We're together all the time.
yes, but you can kind of relate to that.
Yeah.
How you have to be brave. It's a big step, you know, leap of faith to do that, move
mean,
that far away,
when
and
we-
start with nothing.
Wasn't as big mind blowing thing as moving to the West Coast.
Yeah,
You know, I mean
but
that
it was still moving halfway across the country.
I've seen more than a 2-lane highway.
Welcome to the Midwest. We have 4-lane
That
highways.
was weird.
Yeah, and then we go over to Lydia and Barry, and they're having a picnic, and it's strange because they don't even bring a blanket. They're just sitting on the dirty ground. And Lydia's 18 years old now, and Barry talks to her about his feelings. And I think that this is not the right. You don't do that. You don't use your child as a friend in a divorce. Does he not have friends of his own?
It's just weird. You know that, right?
I mean, yeah, and it's like I understand being open and like having that open communication and all that with your children, but there are certain things that there, especially in a divorce between the two parents,
Yeah.
you cannot be sharing like intimate like feelings and
It's-
thoughts with your kids,
It's just weird.
adult or not. Like if you and I were to get the big D,
Yeah.
okay, our children are not the ones to go to talk to our feelings about that.
No.
Even though they're adults.
That would be safe for the podcast.
You're funny. Oh my goodness.
Poor Barry doesn't have a podcast to go to.
I don't think he has any friends, honest to God.
Probably not. And, you know, or maybe he does and they choose not to be on the show.
But even that, doesn't he have someone to talk about his feelings? And she asked several times, okay, how are you doing? And she says that she's there for all of them, like the little, the little kids and everything.
You're
And
talking about Kim right now.
no, Lydia.
Lydia, okay, yeah, she's like a mother figure. Is what
Yeah, and I'm like, but who's there for her? Who's asking Lydia, how are you doing? How do you feel? You know, I mean,
Did Barry ask her?
and like Isaac,
can't
no one's
remember.
even mentioned Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac wasn't even on the episode.
You know, it's like, how's Isaac doing?
Nah, he's flying around.
He's busy with his airplane.
Yeah, he's flying around.
And Barry wonders if Kim is going through a midlife crisis. And he kind of laughs. And I'm like, that's not funny because legitly, men and women, yes, men too,
Oh, I know.
go through a menopause
Yeah, we've been over
where
this.
their hormones
Yeah.
change. And that's when you kind of look around and go, oh my God, my life is crap. This is not what I thought my life would be. And you decide to dump it all and start over at the age of, 48, 55, whatever it may be. And that's men and women though.
I'm not either of those ages.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
another few weeks.
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
Anywho, yeah, so it's just like
I don't like
midlife
always-
crisis is a real thing,
Yeah,
and
he's
you
making
should not
fun.
make jokes about
He
it.
does, and I think I think he's doing that so he doesn't cry himself. You know, sometimes
That
men,
would make more sense to me than making jokes about. I mean, that joking like that and dismissing her feelings is why she left it.
I mean, he did cry in front of Lydia.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Again, probably just an onion in his pocket.
But then Lydia says that she can look back now and she sees red flags that were where her mom wasn't happy, but she never put it together and thought that they would ever separate. you know.
Yeah, even they both said I've never seen this coming.
Every one of them said they're all shocked,
I won't be like, Barry, you've been divorced already. You should have seen this coming.
right? And Barry said that he was torn about getting the dance studio
Oh yeah.
because he wanted to get it to make her happy, but at the same time he didn't want to get it because she had hurt him and he wanted to like hurt her back. Which again, I'm glad he overrode that instinct because that is not.
What did she do to hurt him at that point in time?
She left him
No, but
and made him step up and act like a dad to his
But-
kids and
but
be
she-
a husband around the house.
but she didn't leave him until after he bought the studio. She was still living there with him.
No, I think that they were having really bad issues, and I think at that point she was sleeping on the couch.
I know she was sleeping on a couch at one point. I'm not sure when it started though.
Yeah, so I'm not sure at what point
They never actually
she moved out.
Yeah, they never actually stated when she started sleeping.
Exactly, yeah. And then Barry says the kids should get to know their future spouses really well, and blame like their fast,
Yeah.
courtship and wedding and all that, and then having baby after baby. And here the problem is that you have to stay tuned in to your spouse always. Okay, you need to continue to date them. If they have a passion, find a way to take an interest in it. You need to grow together instead of growing apart. And the fact is, it doesn't matter how well you know someone in the beginning. You 20,
change.
25 years later, you are not the same people you were when you were 18 or 20 or 35.
Yeah, marriage isn't something you can put on cruise control.
No.
Okay, you got to hit the brakes. You got to speed up. You got to slow down. You got to turn right, turn left. You got to do it all. Use your turn
Together.
signals. You got to use your turn signals together. You
And
gotta
wear
do
your
it all.
seatbelt.
And wear your seatbelts all the time, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Man.
Yes. Up
So
and down.
if you don't work at it, it's gonna fail.
And then you have to continue to make all those twists and turns together.
And I think the only reason they lasted that long, to be honest with you, is because they had that many kids.
Yeah, and she didn't have a chance. Like she said, there was the first time in 25 years she'd had that much long time alone
Now if they'd have stopped
without any kids around to
If they'd
like
stopped
so she could think.
Isaac, or even Lydia, I think they probably would have been divorced long ago.
Or maybe they would have had more time to invest in their marriage.
Or maybe.
Yeah.
And
they,
But I don't.
because when you got 10 children that fast and then you lose one and you like in that grief for a while, like you do drift apart and
And-
it's easy to do.
Kim is right. It takes two.
It does,
But
absolutely.
I don't think Barry thinks he's done anything wrong.
No. He's
He's
baffled.
clueless. He's clueless.
And Barry said that asking tough questions early on would have benefited him and Kim. I want to know what tough questions and what makes them pertinent now.
How about the question to ask your wife is, what am I doing wrong? And tell me some of your issues when it comes to me.
Yeah, before she's ready to
Yes.
leave your ass.
Yes.
That. My opinion is that right here, it says that it looked as if Micah and Mariah had already talked to him
Yeah.
about about the separation.
And that's wrong.
And only Ethan doesn't know yet, but there's no way to really let him know because they
You're
weren't.
right.
Well, no, the parents want to tell him themselves and not hear it through a sibling.
No, but Barry tried. He just didn't reply to his text.
No, he said he texted them a while ago.
And he didn't reply.
Yeah, so he does not about the current
Oh.
situation.
Still, I mean, it's what Barry is doing is wrong. He should have waited, do it with Kim, and do it together.
Because maybe their separation would make Ethan talk to him, would talk just with him.
Yeah.
What a dickhead. So basically, he's laying all the blame for all the issues that Ethan and Olivia have with them at Kim's door. So he's like, well, maybe now this will be, a good reason for Ethan to talk with just me. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Somebody should tell Barry that Ethan didn't try to punch or want to punch Kim. He wanted to punch you, Barry.
Yeah, and Barry was the one saying that we'll never accept her. Barry was the one
Had a dumb look
in the
on his face.
driveway talking about blind spots.
Yeah.
And it was Barry, the last time he wanted to go talk to Olivia and Ethan physically restrained him, but everything is getting laid at Kim's door because evidently they think Kim is this puppet master and Barry's just this dumb puppet who does whatever Kim wants, If you could see my awesome puppet impression right now, Papa's smiling and that makes me happy. So it was worth looking like an idiot.
You're a real boy.
Right. And so, like, Barry's just like, oh, I was just a puppet. It's all Kim's fault. Not okay.
Welcome to Puppet Masterville.
And then Barry said he gets sad about what he doesn't have right now.
Barry.
What don't you have? A cook?
Barry,
a housekeeper? A nanny for your children?
Barry, stop talking to your kids about the situation. Go to a bar. Talk to your local bartender. Go to church. Talk to your local pastor.
What
You're
are
big
you
in the
trying to
church.
talk to your wife?
Talk to your wife. But I mean, if you can't talk to your wife, go to your local bar. Go to your local church. Go to a local therapist. Go somewhere. Stop getting your kids in the middle of it.
Yes, thank you.
It's creepy.
It really is. Because you can see he's the one manipulating already. And you can see it happening on screen, but yet Kim is always the one being called the controlling manipulator.
It's sunk down to the little kids.
I know. We'll get there.
I know.
We'll
I
get
know.
there.
I mean, that took. We'll get to it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go to it.
But then we go to Ethan working on his new car. And
Skip that.
he said after Olivia was told about that car, she left the shop, went back to the hotel, packed her shit, and left.
Well, that's
And
all it
didn't
takes.
say goodbye.
That's all it takes to get rid of Olivia. Keep it up.
Oh my. Huh?
Buy another car, Ethan.
Dude, if you saw Ethan with this car, he was joyful. The biggest smile we have seen on his face in seasons.
Do you know why he likes cars better than Olivia?
Be nice. Why?
Cars don't talk back and give them issues.
Well, and like he knows how to fix the car. And it's
that
like
was being nice.
he has no clue how to fix things with Olivia
Since
at all.
Would you have be nice against Olivia? You haven't been nice to Olivia since first episode.
And then he said that Olivia went flying somewhere to get more space.
I took a shot, by the way.
And he's like, he thinks she overreacted. And I'm like, okay.
She did.
On one hand, she did. And on the other hand, I'm like, as a wife, I would go there. My mind would be like, what else are you fucking keeping from me?
You wouldn't hop on a plane and leave.
Well, I don't have the money to hop on a plane and leave.
You would actually maybe go back to the hotel.
Get in your face and scream at you for several hours.
Go back to the hotel, all right, and just sit and think and then talk.
Yeah, without the cameras. That's the only reason she loved without saying a word is because, yeah, she didn't want the cameras around when they had their...
I think she was more embarrassed than anything.
Probably because she has no clue what's going on with her husband. And that's, I mean, it's not just... If he had been going up there long enough to have this car and have this secret for all this time, and she was so not tuned in, again, you have to be tuned into each other, because it's partly her fault. It's not, don't get me wrong, keeping secrets and doing that kind of shit behind your partner's back is not okay.
No, it's not okay.
But they were separated.
But
and then he was afraid that she just wouldn't come back if she knew about it.
But he could have done worse.
You always say that, even when we have a fight.
No.
But it's like, of course it could be worse, but it's about a trust issue. If you kept that big of a secret from me for 8 months, there would be a serious trust breach, and we would have to start rebuilding again.
I could never keep a secret.
No, none of you can lie to me.
No, because we have a strong relationship. Where Ethan and Olivia do not.
True, but also, you can't lie to me.
Well, no, I know. I can't lie to you. But I'm just saying, they don't have a strong enough relationship.
Oh, no, they don't have any faith that their love will last. Like he said, he thought that car would be the end of them. That would be all it took.
But he got it anyway. So what's that tell you?
Well, no, he got it when they were separated, not knowing that they were going to get back together. And then whenever he thought they're going to get back together, he thought, well, crap, I can't tell her now because then she won't want me back.
But he didn't really try either.
I know they both have so many issues, but in this instance, I feel he's wrong.
Standing outside her bedroom window with a boombox over your head, playing some love song. That worked for what's his name, Cusack.
John Cusack.
John Cusack, yes.
Anyway, I think he was wrong. That's my point.
He should have done that more than buy a car. If he really loves Olivia, he shouldn't have.
And Philip says his machinist friend tells Ethan to text her, but Philip was telling Ethan that he needed to text her, let her know he loves her, that he's thinking of her,
Maybe that's part of.
and that Ethan needs to learn balance.
Maybe
and that is the best advice anybody could give anybody.
Maybe he's part of Ethan's social circle.
Maybe.
That sounds like that.
It's a social club, he said.
Oh, sorry.
It's weird.
It's weird, yeah.
Anyway.
It's called Friends, Ethan.
But everyone should balance, whether it's, again, drinking, you know, you shouldn't be having sex like 18 times a day with different people. You know, moderation is a good thing.
So who's doing that?
You know, with us, like food,
Yeah.
spending money.
Yeah.
Everything in your life should be done with moderation.
Bowling.
Except for love. You should love without any limits.
Overflow the cup of love.
And then we go back to Mariah, and she's picking up Olivia from the airport because she went to Miami. Must be nice just to have the money just to fly to Miami for a couple days.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Fly anywhere.
And then Olivia tells Mariah all what happened from her point of view.
Yeah.
Mariah says she already knew about the car and talks about why he didn't tell her, because he was afraid that she would, you know, divorce him and everything, and that he didn't want to have that argument, that confrontation, because they all avoid confrontation. Yep. And she says that she and Max weren't meant to be, and then it happened for a reason. Yes, girl. Isn't that like what I tell people all the time? It's not meant to be.
In what, 3-4 months now?
At this point, I don't know.
5, 6, maybe a year?
No, I think it's only been like 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months, okay.
Yeah.
I thought they said 3 months or something like that in the show. I thought I heard 3 months.
But I am always telling everybody, things happen for a reason. It's not meant to be. God has a plan.
That doesn't always make you feel better.
No, until you get to the next thing that's good, and then you're like, okay, I get it now. The waiting, the interim is the hard part.
Yeah.
And she says you've got to choose yourself, and that is 100% true as well. Again, balance. You know, you have to be dedicated to your partner and to your family, but you also have to have something in your life for you.
Yeah.
You know? And she realized that she can't be friends with Max because that's just not healthy for her. And I mean, after what happened, obviously, if they had broken up under different circumstances, probably.
Yes.
But no, he broke that trust completely. And I really think when they had the breakup, some sort of PTSD got triggered.
Yeah.
And it brought up memories of Joshua's death and that feeling of losing someone, I think is what triggered it, she said.
She said she's seen it happen too.
And that she really needs to deal with both of those things so that every time something bad happens, she doesn't have that triggered all over again. And again, for these kids being so quote unquote like neglected, mistreated, and not educated, they're very, very self-aware.
Yeah.
And very articulate and very wise in many ways. So everybody that's out there saying that, you know, Kim is this awful, horrible mother, I'm not seeing that. I'm just not.
No, especially now.
Except for maybe the courting thing, that's stupid. But that's a religious thing, I think, for them. So I'm not going to get involved.
That could be more of a Barry thing than a Kim thing.
It could be.
The more we're going to know about Kim now, is the more I'm thinking Barry was behind all this shenanigan stuff.
A lot of it. Yeah. Some of it, yeah. And then while Olivia was in Miami, she realized that she's been begging to be loved, supported, protected, accepted, and respected for years. And Ethan's just not able to do that for her right now.
His family for you.
He left the place he loves for you.
And all the cars for you.
What more do you want? Blood? I'm going to start calling her, what was it?
I'm so sick of her.
She's like Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. Like, all she like, what more do you want from me? Blood? And then she's like...
Blood, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all that she wants more and more and more.
Ethan, feed me.
And then Olivia realizes that she needs to find all that in herself. And I'm just like, finally, yes. How has your therapist all these years not been saying that you need to be secure in yourself and love yourself before other people can do that for you? You know?
I just don't. I'm over Olivia.
I'm okay. You just don't want to talk about her anymore.
No.
And Mariah says that she was like obviously between like her brother and who she considers her best friend,
He's
Olivia.
yeah.
So she just doesn't really say much, because she doesn't, she loves them both.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mariah can't get in the middle.
Um, and then we had the little girls spending the night with their mom at a rental property, and Kim's giving them all the ice cream. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty cool. Go Kim.
Kim,
Buy your kids off.
right? Well, no, and she said she wanted to discuss the situation with the kids together
Yeah.
as a united front, but Barry already started campaigning. Those are my words. He's campaigning.
Yeah.
He's trying to win the hearts and minds of America's youth.
He's a politician right now. Of not America's
And
youth,
he's
but
very good at garnering sympathy, especially from the
weird.
girls, because those girls are very sympathetic.
Which is weird.
What do you mean weird?
For somebody who doesn't really, he's emotionless a lot of times,
Right?
but he can do that. I mean, maybe he's not emotionless off camera.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a ball of emotions off the camera.
maybe.
But on the camera, he's like a stone. He's like a statue.
Right? Yes.
And with that dumb look on his face all the time.
Yes. And he's still not communicating these things to his wife.
Oh yeah.
He's telling it all to his children and not to the person that needs to hear it. And Kim says that they're less restrictive now about almost everything,
Yeah.
like sugar. And she just wanted to protect them from what she went through. And it alludes to some sort of danger. And it comes out later what happened, and it's really sad. But and she tells the girls her side of what happened with Barry.
Yeah.
And she said it was just a few months ago she started realizing that she's not happy in her marriage, but the kids are the best thing to come out of the marriage. And I say that all the time. I do not regret my time with sperm donor because I got my babies out of it. So I can never regret what I went through with him because I got the two of the best three things in my life, You're the other one, by the way.
I know.
Just letting you know, because you're mine.
Where's Rascal and Molly following us?
Oh, they're everything.
Okay.
You guys just have a little spot. And then Amber, who is the next oldest girl at home.
He's getting pretty.
He's 13 now.
Yeah, sassy.
And Kim said, do you have any questions for me?
No, but not. Okay, go ahead.
And Amber's very forthright. And I think that's great.
She's the opposite of Lydia.
She's the opposite of all the rest of them who do not want anything to do with conflict.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And she asks Kim if she bought the studio to be more independent, not have to rely on Barry's income. And Kim says no, she's always wanted one, and she loves to dance.
Is that what Barry told him?
That's what a lot of these questions tell me they came more from Barry's point of view.
The girl's not going to come up with that on her own.
Right. And she even says that she's thankful to Barry for the dance studio.
He's
and then Amber says that Barry will move. She said that I'm not using their names instead of dad and mom because that can get confusing. Yeah. That Barry will move out because he'll do that for her, meaning mom.
Yeah.
But Kim wants the breakup, and the one that doesn't want to stay, then shouldn't she be the one to move? Wow. And again, that sounds like something that someone has been campaigning about,
A little 13-year-old girl doesn't come up with that.
Right.
In my opinion.
Especially these super sheltered, uneducated kids.
Yes.
According to everybody on the internet and Reddit. And then Kim said, I could be if that's what you want. She thinks that the one who has taken care of the kids most should be the one to stay. And
that's how he's doing.
And she said that she's hurt by Amber's question, but she understands, that's a logical thought.
Yeah.
And she says that she has a more flexible schedule for the kids than Barry does, which is true because, Barry can't take the kids to work with him. He can't work at home if they're sick or whatever. But she can, take him to the dance studio with her, or since it's right there, you know, run back and forth
Yeah.
really quick kind of
Yeah.
thing. So she does have more flexibility. And she said that's why she's living out of suitcases and going from rental to rental, because she's the one that wants to be separate from him. So, I mean, she's taking ownership of it. Like, you're right. That's why I left.
Yeah.
But, we have to think about the future and what's going to happen with you guys and the long term kind of thing. And then Kim asks Amber if she's concerned about Barry. And of course she says yes. And Kim says that she is too. And it's not easy on him, and it's not easy on any of them.
No.
And then Amber said that she's not mad now, and she kind of understands more. But
And they hugged.
But she said, but Dad bought her. Not they bought it together. He bought her the studio, knowing it might be her way out or whatever.
Her escape.
Yeah. But he did it anyway. He's not thinking about himself. That sounds like another campaign slogan.
Sure does. Sounds like a Republican to me.
Stop. I'm just saying. That sounds like something he was saying, because he was talking to them, we saw before, about the dance studio and things.
Yeah.
And like, why did you buy it? Knowing you were in trouble and whatever. And that sounds to me like something he said and it's now indoctrinated into the kids. And then Amber says, if you're not happy, you got to do something about it. And that's very true. And I think that's very mature for her age, honestly, and very wise. And I say that all the time. If you're not happy, do something about it. I hate it. Personal pet peeve when people just bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch about the same things over for years.
Like a job, you just can't up and quit.
No, but you can look for other jobs, and you have refused to do so even when you are miserable, just because you hate switching jobs.
That's not easy.
It isn't. I know that, but if you're miserable at a job, it's not worth it. Because I think about the effect it has on your health.
Well, I was talking about the money we made.
Well, anyway, that's a whole different story. I'm just saying.
A whole other episode.
Yeah. And then they all commence with their girl movie night, and they have their popcorn, and they all have a big old hug.
Ice cream and popcorn?
I know, it sounds like me every night.
That sounds like both of us.
And I think it's really sweet that they all have these really good warm hugs. You can tell they're connecting, that there's love and understanding there. Even maybe a little bit of forgiveness from Amber. And then it shows Ethan driving home from Cairo to Tampa, and he's dreading it because he knows it's going to be a whole nother long issue with Olivia. And all she wants, she says, is an apology.
I was looking at Ethan pulling up in the parking lot. All right. In his driveway. Sorry.
Yes.
And he had those sunglasses on, which is weird.
Yeah.
Those sunglasses are weird, in my opinion. Okay. Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder.
Anyway.
And I'm like, he could actually be a good actor in a movie or a show.
Yeah.
Like SVU.
As what?
As a guest star, as a perp.
Oh, as a bad guy.
As a bad guy. I could see Ethan, because he's sneaky, quiet. He doesn't like...
Micah, since you want to be the actor, take notes. This is from Papa telling you how you get to be an actor and be a bad guy in SVU.
I'm just saying Ethan has look as a bad guy.
Kind of. I think it's because he was, again, dreading it.
The hairstyle.
He went from being at his joyful place to where he loves his wife, but every time they're together, he has to dread another lecture or the tears and berating him until he just gives in and has no will to fight left.
I just hope we never see them on an episode of Snapped.
Ooh. Y'all say prayers for them. But I think that'll do it for this episode of Welcome to Plathville. That was season 4, episode 5. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give us a like, a share, a comment, or that. Until next time, you guys, please spay and neuter your pets.
Subscribe.
Use your turn signals.
Subscribe.
Wear your seatbelt.
Subscribe.
And please be kind. Bye.